What's up guys? My name is Bucky and welcome to your very first tutorial in how to make a platform game with Construct 2. Now, if this is your very first time using Construct 2, you never even used the software before, then I would highly recommend checking out my other videos first. They're pretty much the beginner videos and they give you a nice introduction to what the software is and the basics of how to use it. And actually, if you go to my website, if you aren't on my website already, buckysdream.org/videos.php, and scroll down right here till you see game development with Construct 2 and click on it. Then you have 15 videos right here, and these are the best videos for a really basic introduction to get you up and started and familiar with Construct 2. So also, I probably should have mentioned this first, but if you're watching these on YouTube or even on my website, make sure that you're watching these tutorials in full screen and also 1080p. I'm recording my entire desktop, so if you try to watch it on that little YouTube player, then you're not going to be able to see what's going on. Watch it in full screen, 1080, everything is high def, crystal clear. So of course, if you don't have this downloaded already, go to this website. I don't even know how to say the company, Sierra.com/construct2, and this is a software. It's completely free and it allows you to make awesome games. But again, I talked about that in my last video series, so I'm not going to talk about it again. And actually, the tutorials that I'm going to be teaching you for the platform game, someone I found a written tutorial, but it's like a few years old and it's kind of outdated. So I decided to remake it into a video series, and I'll show you guys how to do, how to use it with the new software that you guys are using right now instead of, it was written for the old software that was made like back in 2010. So first of all, what is a platform game? Well, a platform game, think of like Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo or Sonic the Hedgehog for Sega. It's basically one of those 2D games where you have this world and you can go, left and right, up and down, collect coins, hop on things, shoot enemies. Like if you ever played Contra, that's another platform game. It's not 3D and it's not like a top-down shooter like the last video. So this is actually a really popular game for web development and also, well, a lot of stuff actually, come to think of it. So that's what kind of game we're going to be making, and it's a little bit more complex than the last game. So if you want to learn a little bit more about this software, then you are in the right place. So the first thing that we need to do is actually open up this software, and I have it open right there, and start a new project, new empty project. Just open that. Now, before we start doing a bunch of crap, we obviously need some images, such as, the background, the platforms that they can jump on, the enemies, the dude itself, like the main character. So, if you have Construct 2 downloaded, I believe, actually, I don't know if the images come with the free version, but if you go to, File, and then you go to this little About thing, then once you click that, it's going to give you a link to download Media Bundle. Now if you click that, I'm just going to close out of this because I already have it downloaded. You're going to be able to download all of this crap. And again, like I said, this is the stuff that we're going to be using. The background image, all the enemies you jump on, and of course, the platforms, your main dude. I'll show them to you. So there's our main dude right there. And like I said, if you have the free version of this, I don't think that these are available for download. But what you can do, obviously it doesn't matter, like you don't need to use the same character or same images as me. It's gonna work fine, whatever you use. So if you just go to Google and type in platformer tile set, then what it's gonna do is it's gonna give you a bunch of options like this, and you can just use these images for your game. Just pick a tile set that you want. Pretty much one, whatever looks cool. This actually looks pretty cool right here. Looks like Super Mario Brothers. So this is pretty much going to be the like all the things you jump on, like I said, the land, and of course you need a character too. So if you type in sprite sheet, what a sprite is, as we're going to be learning, is just a bunch of individual, it's pretty much a file, an image file, but you can break it up into a bunch of individual pictures and form an animation. So of course, what we would do with this sprite sheet, if I decided to download this one, is we would play these images one after another, and all of that crap is actually built in to Construct 2. And once we play them right after another, it's going to look like this little cat is running, or jaguar, or whatever it is. So I would actually recommend getting a dude. Not that dude. He looks kind of weird. But yeah, just go ahead and download either this media bundle or a sprite sheet and a tile set, and then you're good to go. So again, now that we are set up, what we need to do now is pretty much just set with the basics of our project. And the first thing I want to do is I want to change the layout size. So if you actually click anywhere, since we don't have any layers on there yet, just this basic one, we're going to see a property called layout size. And right now it's 1708 by 960. And typically you want to make this for whatever device you're making. Like this is going to be different if you're making an iPhone game or just a HTML game for the web. But for now, we just need enough space to where we can work with pretty much. So go ahead and make yours 4000 by 2048 and hit enter. And you guys probably couldn't see it, but my layout just got a little bit better, which is, or excuse me, a little bit bigger, which is this big white space. And to scroll out, I just held down Control on my keyboard, and you can either scroll in or scroll out. And just like before, you can, if you hold the middle mouse button, you can click and drag to pan. And to get back to where you were, hold down Control and hit 0 on your keyboard, and that's going to give you the basic zoom, the default where we started. So now that we have the layout or the gaming area, the right size that we want it, the next thing I want to do is add that background, or add any background. Any image you find off the computer is fine. So if you double click anywhere in this white area, it's going to allow you to add things to it. So what we want to add is actually a tiled background. So if I scroll down, oh, look at this, tiled background. And what tiled means is you can stack them up right next to each other, and it's going to create a seamless background. So if you just like take a picture of your backyard, when you stack them right next to each other, they're going to look weird where they touch. So just click anywhere right here for now, and it pretty much says, okay, so you want to create a tiled background, but what actual image do you want to use? Let me go ahead and load an image, and I'll show you guys how I did that. If you click this little folder right here, that's where we can select the image. And if you have your own one, then go ahead and load it now. But if you have the media bundle, just double click this, and I believe it's in sprites, jungle performer, background image, and there's only one called background, so right there. And alright, this is a little big right now, but what we can do is actually close this, and as you can see, alright, it looked a little bit different whenever we were loading in. This isn't exactly what we expected. So what we need to do is actually make this image fit our game right here. So in order to do that, make sure that you have an image selected, and you know that it's selected because it has these little dots around it and this little blue border. And the first thing we want to do is position it in this top corner. So if you just try to drag it, it's probably going to be a pain. So an easier way to do this is, again, once it's selected, go to this position property and just type 0, 0. What that means is make it so it touches the top left corner perfectly. Now hit enter and check it out. So pretty much you're saying, where do you want this top corner to be? Well, we want it X0, Y0, boom, roasted. So the only other thing we have to do after this is make this image fit our layout perfectly. So remember, our layout is 4000 by 2048. So now select this image, and guess what we're going to do? Pretty obvious stuff here. The size of this we want to be 4000 2048. Hit enter, and look at that. Our background image now matches our layout perfectly. This, guys, this is incredibly easy so far. So I think it's time to step it up a notch. So go ahead and hold Control 0, pan to you know, the very beginning, and in the next tutorial, now that we got that easy crap out of the way, hopefully we're going to be importing some sprites, and which is pretty much our main character. But before we do that, there are a couple other things that I want to teach you guys that are going to make your game development experience a whole lot easier. So for now, thank you guys for watching this little video, and I'll see you next time.